what's strange is that the CGI in this film is a little off. But, yeah. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Daily Reacts TV here, and today I had to break my week break just to do this review and do the spoilers review probably tomorrow when I get off of work, if I even do work. Today I'm here to do my non-spoilers review for The Flash, released actually last night at the time that I'm filming this video, because I'll probably be editing this tomorrow, sitting down, you know. But yeah, I just got back from seeing The Flash as, you know, but The Flash, basically, the premise is it's the Flashpoint story where Barry goes back in time to save his mother and time remnants and all of this stuff. That's all I can say, because I don't want to really spoil the movie. So a lot of you guys don't know, I was not a big fan of Ezra Miller as Barry Allen. I was more like a Grant Gustin guy, and mostly because I watched the CW show a lot as a kid. So when I heard that they announced that they're doing a Flash movie, I got a little typical and a little bit like, really? Like a Flash movie with Ezra Miller, you know? But then there was like a lot of rewrites, a lot of delays, and COVID happened. And then we got settled in with our director that we have, Andy Muschietti. If you guys don't know who Andy Muschietti is, he is the dude who has directed the It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. He's a very creative director, and he knows how to make a decent, good film. So I trust Andy Muschietti with this film, and maybe show a little bit of his horrorness, which you don't really feel it in the movie, but show a little bit of his horrorness like he did with It Chapter 1 and 2. So I felt like the movie was in good hands. And I went in to see the film, and when I came out, I liked the movie. There is problems, but I do like the movie. Alright, don't get me wrong. I really did like this movie. There's just bits and pieces I feel like I need to take to do the spoilers review. But the problem, the biggest problem is, which we'll get into, which I think I already talked about in my beginning of this video. So, let's get into it. Ezra Miller is Barry Allen. Now, after the whole Ezra Miller scenario as well, I was a little scared about Ezra Miller taking over this role a little bit more, but after seeing the trailers, and of course doing a trailer reaction to the second trailer, I knew I gotta give this guy a shot more, because in Justice League, he was a bit more annoying. He wasn't funny, he wasn't Flash, he wasn't how Grant Gustin did the role. He was a bit annoying in Justice League. So coming in to see him in this film, does a better job. There's even moments where he criticized himself, which we'll get into. I think Ezra really did it right. I just wish he didn't do all the shit that he did, and maybe he would have continued doing this character, and maybe if the DCU wasn't getting rebooted, then there you go, we would have had that scenario where Ezra would still be the Flash, and we still have Ben Affleck and all of them, which we'll get into Ben Affleck in a second. But I felt like Ezra Miller really shines in this movie. There's bits and pieces, like his acting was flat out better than it was in Justice League. One of the reasons why I never watched a Justice League Snyder Cut, which is in my top 30 films I've never seen, is because, believe it or not, Ezra Miller, he was not Barry Allen. The way how they treated him in that film, I felt was very disrespectful how they treated Barry. And I don't blame Ezra for that. I don't blame him. I blame the writers and the director of the first Justice League, and I know who the director is because he directed the first two Avengers film, and I don't know how he fucked that up, but that's just me. I do think that Ezra Miller did really shine in this movie, and he did a really good job intimidating as well, especially as him as the other Barry Allen, the 18-year-old Barry Allen, I believe, that the day that he got his powers and that, I felt like he did the way how he did it in Justice League, and I could see where even Ezra's like, Jesus, was I that annoying? It was that funny. I'll get to more of that in my spoilers review. But yeah, very well act-wise by Ezra Miller. Great job, Ezra. I think you nailed it out of the park. I still think you need to get help, and I still don't think you earned the spot back as Barry Allen. That's just me. I do really also like this as well. Michael Keaton's Batman. Now, there's moments in the film as well. We're going to get to the spoilers review, especially Michael Keaton's Batman. But Michael Keaton back as Batman. Sign me up for another Michael Keaton Batman movie. I'm just saying, if you guys are announcing another one with Michael Keaton, I'm down. Because, holy shit, Michael Keaton did a phenomenal job as Batman. And you see him grow from the 1970s or 1980. I don't remember which Batman movie, what year that Michael Keaton's Batman movie came out. Look back at that film. Michael Keaton's still good as Batman. And this film, phenomenal. Like, he nailed it out of the park. I feel like Michael Keaton did it really good. And he's always been my favorite Batman. I always loved that first Batman movie. Not Batman Returns as much, because I was just like, yeah, no. That's not a good Batman in my opinion. Good Batman movie in my opinion. The only person that kept that movie rolling and doing well is Michael Keaton as Batman, you know. So, of course, seeing him back as Batman in this film, phenomenal. I felt like he really shines throughout the film, and there is moments in this film where he shines the most out of everyone else. And he stole the spotlight, no matter what. Supergirl in this film, good film. Good job. I absolutely love her performance as Supergirl in this movie. I feel like, though, I wish we had more screen time with her, but we didn't. But she did very good. Very well done. Very intimidating. You know, there's twists and turns that was really good. I wish it was settled in a little bit more. But, yeah, we didn't get that as much, you know. And, of course, we got Ben Affleck back as Batman. And Ben Affleck, I give you applause. I know the timeline. I know that he's not coming back in this new DCU, so I give him applause for his final performance as Batman. Give it applause for Ben Affleck. I know a lot of people hated him. I didn't think he was a bad Batman. I almost said Flash. Bad Batman, but he did a really good job. Even though in most scenes he doesn't steal the spotlight, but you understand why he's in it. And he was, like, at the time still working on other stuff, so they had to do something else, which I'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, the action scenes, without a doubt, are phenomenal, especially the final climax. Very well done, very well handled. I will talk about that again in my spoilers review. Don't forget about that. I will do my spoilers review, which will come out on Wednesday. You know, and just well done. The story is good. It's not great, which we'll get into the problems. And I gotta say also, bits of this movie looks great in the Speed Force. That's all I gotta say. Unfortunately, I do have problems with the Flash. And these are like big ones, man. And it just gotten to a point where I was just like, okay, now this is noticeable. Now this is, you know. The CGI. Yeah, the CGI is not good in this film. It's not Black Widow bad. Like, the CGI is not Black Widow bad. But the CGI is very distractive. It took me out of the film. Like, there was moments in the movie where you're like, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, yeah, they made some poor choices with the CGI. Like, the interactions I see of this, it's like, the CGI wasn't good. It was very rushed, and they didn't really add much to it, if you know what I mean. Like I said, the CGI is, you know, and I felt like the CGI could have been a lot worked more, especially the timings of these scenes. Again, I will not get too much into. Of course, we got also the biggest problem of the film. Another problem with the film is the relationship between Barry and young Barry. I wish that was developed a little bit more. They did not develop it as much, in my opinion. I wish they would have, like, developed it a little bit more, where they get to the point where, oh, man, maybe this Barry can do this. Like, there's a moment in the film, I'm not going to say much, where they have a moment, and Barry tries to talk to him. Again, I will talk about that in my spoilers review. But it wasn't earned. It wasn't really, you know, I felt like it needed more worked on. You know, I felt like it could have been worked on more of their relationship. Other than that, like, they're fine, you know. And the biggest problem with the film, well, besides the CGI, the biggest problem with the film is the final climax. You really don't feel much into it. There was only one scene that made me tear-eye, and this is supposed to be an emotional film. It's supposed to be like the CW show, right? No, they didn't do the emotional parts right. That's all I gotta say. Like, I want to talk about it in my spoilers review, but other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. I think the comedy really sticks too. That's one of the good things I forgot to say. The comedy works. But other than that, this film, it's good. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not awesome. It's fine. It's a movie. It's a Flash movie. I would be definitely getting this in my collection to watch it again and refresh my mind a little bit more. And I don't know if I would add this as my favorite movie of 2023. But, you know. And that is why I am giving The Flash a 7 out of 10. Maybe my score will go up after I do my spoilers review, but other than that, yeah. And I told you guys I would get back into these theater release reviews. I'm keeping my promise. Don't you worry. Woo! Alright, so stay tuned for Wednesday for my spoilers review of The Flash. But as always, did you guys see The Flash? And I'd love to know what you guys think of it. Tell me in the comments below. Go make sure to smack the like button, also press the red button, which is subscribe. Turn on notifications to be notified of video make. Go on and link in the description to my gaming channel, my Discord server, my Instagram, my TikTok. And as always, I'm DailyReacts. Take care, guys.